They rebooted Hellboy again and made it into a cheap folk horror period piece and thought nobody would notice.
They all gonna die.
Hellboy the Crooked Man. I mean, I didn't see a trailer for this. I didn't see a poster for this. I have seen nothing for this. I went into the cinema and I was just like, oh, another Hellboy reboot. Sure, okay, right. How has this not been more on the radar? It must have a big budget. It does not have a big budget. Not really. It's like 20 million. It's also set in the 50s. And it's a folk horror movie. What happened here? So Hellboy and Bobby Joe, you know Hellboy's good friend Bobby Joe, I don't know, yeah. So they're traveling with a big spider somewhere, but the big spider escapes, but then you just ignore the big spider, forget about it, it's irrelevant. And then they're trapped in this Appalachian area and they've got to go walking to find a phone because it's the 1950s. Why did they say the Hellboy film in the 1950s? That'd be so much weirder if it wasn't also a folk horror film. What in the good name of fuck? So they enter this small town where everyone is basically a witch. They meet this guy who's very unsurprised that everyone is a witch, and then they go meet his friend, who he is very surprised to find she is a witch. And then they go uphill. They just start walking uphill a lot, and she vanishes. And then she's just gone for the rest of the film. She does not come back. And then they walk uphill more, and then they find this church and this blind priest, and then they get stuck there overnight and meet the Crooked Man, who is this kind of devil, demon, reaper, ghost, man thing, and then they have a confrontation with him. Hellboy gets stabbed a lot, and then they walk uphill some more and find his house, and they fuck around and find out. That's the whole film, and it sounds simple enough. What's not simple is how bizarrely every single aspect of it is presented. I've been trying to figure out how to accurately describe this film without sounding insane. I think I've nailed it. I think the best way to describe this is it's like if Nicolas Cage starred in The Wicker Man, but he was playing Ghost Rider. It is bizarre. It feels like they've... if they made an episode of What If into a big budget Marvel movie. It just doesn't need it. It's just a very weird thing to do. Honestly, they could make a killing doing a kind of folk horror period set investigative series that's like animated for Hellboy. I think that would kill right now. Doing it in this format feels nuts. It feels like the biggest Hellboy fanboys and biggest diehard fans got their hands on it. And that's not necessarily a good thing. Because what you'll find with the most accurate comic remake shot for shots from comic book to live action film is that they're not actually going to work. That's not actually going to be good. The most bizarre thing is that I didn't totally hate this, but I still think it's a horrible film. I think it's crap. Honestly, it's a very weird feeling because it makes no sense. We spend a surprising amount of time watching Hellboy's mother burn in hell. Seriously, that's not just one scene, like it happens a lot. I do like the concept. I like the characters, I like the relationships to each other, I like the way they bounce off each other. I kind of like something about the vibe that works here. I would almost be okay seeing a sequel. This film does have it all. Hellboy fighting things, Hellboy getting gruff and angry all the time, Hellboy putting out cigarettes on his tongue, Hellboy watching his mother burn in the eternal fires of hell. It's great. I feel like this is an insane film, really off the wall. Some people are really going to love it. The majority of general audiences probably won't. It's the kind of thing that really swung for the fences to become a cult classic and tore a bicep and fucked it completely, broke their leg. It went wrong. I feel like it's really bold. I commend them for that. I could almost see myself rewatching this to check if I think it's any better in the future. I don't think I will, but I'm giving Your Mom Was So Hot She's Burning in Hell 2 stars. It is almost a shame that we probably won't see a sequel to this or many more superhero films that go this bold and weird and lower budget. I think it could kind of work. If Disney Plus wasn't a thing, we probably would have seen more Marvel movies with like a mid-budget like this by now. But the Disney Plus series kind of fill that gap for them anyway. It'd be interesting to see a sequel. I just don't think we will, because this kind of weird stuff, I don't even think you're going to throw another 20 million at it, honestly.